All right, I'm going to take this time now and have a quick smoke.
Hello everyone and welcome to the CCC Clan Championship Cup. This is day number 3 and we are currently booting into a 3v3 between KC's Team 2 and OP's Team 2. This is going for an amazing treat, guys. They have excellent players lined up across the board here. We'll be going through the player roster after we load in. You can hear in the background players talking amongst themselves here as they strategize exactly what they want to do here.
Unless you guys want to make an additional agreement to not let one team get both greases.
We can see the schedule posted up for today. The schedule has been slightly redone due to some technical issues involving one of the other teams, but all in all, we're in for an amazing day here. We're going to have 3v3's throughout the day, and the 2v2's are going to be starting at 10 a.m. Hello again, welcome to the stream. Thank you for your viewership and support.
Been so OP in all these games. Seems like everyone with America has won their match.
Well, I don't know about the games that you've been in, but the games that I've seen America in, they didn't win because of America.
Who hasn't voted? Cloudpaw?
All right, I'm back.
That was a quick smoke.
Well, okay. I'm going to probably be smoking once or twice in this team, and they're all going to be faster. Shit.
Rom, dude, I miss playing with you, man. You're, haven't seen you much.
Yeah, I took a break.
Yeah, I'm probably going to take a break.
Ron, did you get my message?
Yep.
Doesn't look like you
Holy crap, who are we gonna play with today?
So many bands. It's gonna be Norway versus Indonesia.
Don't forget that you need to click the plus when you're done voting.
I did. Alright, I'm gonna click the plus in 10 seconds if we don't get the vote.
Hey, so, Guy, were you supposed to play in the 2v2's? Do you know if, that's supposed to change?
Yeah, I told Canuck that, but he said we just needed to fill spots for what was going on now. But yeah, I think me and Taz were supposed to be in that 2v2 in 7 minutes.
Okay, I'll just write it.
Alright. Draft is up in holy Bantasm.
You guys want me to say my secret now?
What, you can't play Poland?
Nah, we wanted to ban anything OP so that we didn't like lose because of shitty rolls.
This game going okay? Everybody in?
Yeah, everyone's in. They did up the bands that they wanted in addition to the normal ones.
I was just checking.
Alright, let's split up, guys. Good luck.
Yep.
Casey.
Yeah, good luck, guys.
Good luck, guys. If you need me, ping me. Players are loading up. They just went through. They wanted to ban some additional civs. I went ahead and let them vote on that, in addition to the hard-coded bans of Australia, Scythia, and Nubia for this game style event. And they're negotiating with their teams now exactly what civs they want to pick. They did ban so many civs that each player only got a choice of 2, and I actually have to unpick France because it was one of the options. I mean, this is going to be one hell of a game. You have 6 amazing players here, 3 from OP and 3 from KC, and I'm going to do a little rundown here for you guys. From KC, we have Cloudpaw, Guy, and Stasic. Stasic. I was going to try and pronounce it differently, but hey. From OP, we have Swissy Civ, El Stretcho, and Rom. And these are 6 amazing players. We're in for a real treat here with this game. And if any of the past games I've been doing are any sign of what we're about to see, this is going to be one hell of a match that's going to be hanging on the edge of a knife as to who's going to win throughout the whole thing. We're going to see some amazing plays come out here, some amazing strategies and team coordination, and it's going to be a sight to behold. For those of you that are just joining us, the map style is Turn Timer 180, Ancient Era Start. The map style is Pangea, small for 6 players, abundant resources, World Age is new, the start position is balanced, Barbarians are turned off. Hey Pizza, how's it going, man? And the mods involved are the Host Spectator mod, which will enable me to spectate the match, and the Better Balance Starts by Waza. You can find that in the workshop. And it has produced some amazingly balanced maps, and even teams being on the same sides of the maps. It's been incredible over this weekend. Also wanted to take this moment to thank all of you for stopping by the stream, whether you're joining me on YouTube Live or over on Twitch. I really appreciate your viewership and support, and a huge thanks and shout out to everyone who's been donating to the charity event that I've been running along the weekend alongside these events. For those of you who are joining us here for the first time over the weekend, the charity event is for Extra Life and the Children's Miracle Network. They do amazing things for both children and families out there who are desperately in need, they just can't afford the surgeries and treatments that they need. Whether it's children with diabetes, cancer, autism, or even in the emergency room with treatments and surgeries that save lives. There's just so many people out there in need, and I'm very proud to be able to help support this charity in this way. And again, a huge thanks to all of you who have donated and supported it as well in your own way. We do have some Civ picks coming out. OP locking in their choices in Brazil for Swissy Civ. El Stretcho will be playing Japan, and Rob will be joining the field as Macedon. You do now. Just waiting for players to switch up slots so that it's more balanced for the great people. Oh, we have Saladin coming out in Arabia for Guy from KC. Just waiting for Stosage and Cloud to pick their sims. Stosage bringing in Montezuma for KC. And Cloudpaw bringing Cleopatra to the team game here. We'll be taking France as it was not selected by the player who got that in their draft. So we will have that heightened diplomatic visibility with the other players so that we get more notifications on what they are doing. This way we get as many details as possible so that we can really see what's going on. Hello to everyone that's just joining us now. This is the 3v3 match between OP's Team 2 and KC's Team 2. For OP, we have playing El Stretcho, Rom, and Swissy Civ. And joining us from KC is Cloudpaw, Guy, and Stasic. Players just doing a bit of a swap here in the slots for great people priority. Cloud. Having to send Cloud the link to the spectator mod, he seems to have been had some trouble locating it. I do apologize for the delay here today, but this is unfortunately something I could not readily control. We do have to do a relobby because of this. When you have players leave like that, it fucks the slot. That being the case, I am remaking the game at this time. It will not take very long to get everyone in and set up. Alright, we have players coming on in here from both OP and KC, rejoining the new lobby we had to make, because when you have someone disconnect out of the lobby, it'll bug the slot, and there's nothing we can do about it. Unfortunately, it's an issue with the Firaxis side of things in the game. ROMs, and so we have all the players in. Let's... Hey Jungle, how's it going, man? Thanks for joining us today. As a whole, points-wise, I'd have to take a look. I don't think we have a point breakdown per event right now listed. I think we just have totals per clan, because there were multiple matches. The Iron Man was won by Sunzi. The Iron Man was won by Sunzi. The free-for-all that I cast was Game 4, and that was won by NWA. FFA round, the Game 1 for the FFA after the Iron Man was won by Sunzi. Game 2 was won by KC. Game 3 was won by Sunzi as well. So I guess if you wanted to say overall throughout the entirety of the FFA games, it was won by Sunzi. And here we go, kicking off this game. We are finally getting it underway. OP versus KC. And these are their Team 2s right now. The other teams are locked in grueling matches as well. And once we get loaded in, I'll do another player rundown for everyone who's just joining us today. We have an amazing match here. These 6 players are incredible. I know I've been pretty much saying that throughout the entire weekend, but this is great. What's up?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. We're booting right into one of the 3v3's right now.
Oh, your commentary.
Absolutely.
Oh, I can hear my voice on the Twitch. Well, there you go. I'm alive now.
The 4v4 that I cast yesterday, that was actually
I was going to ask you for a game of StarCraft 2, but you're busy.
Yeah, sorry, Oz.
Bummer.
OP actually lost that one.
I felt like doing some co-op.
Sun Z actually picked up the win there against OP in an incredible turn because Avaria's Congo's cavalry just shattered the defensive line, and even though there weren't many of them, it was an excellent ploy nonetheless, and it created so much space. Yes, the team with Japan did lose. Now let's take a look for the players to see if we need
Yeah,
a
I have
remap.
the Twitch stream up now. I'm just waiting for it to load. So it's an FFA or a team or...
It's a teamer.
Okay, teamer. So who's playing on...
I'll be doing a rundown in a second. I'm looking to see if there has to be a remap.
Fair enough. Yeah, because there's quite a few clan matches going on at the moment. Doesn't really say which one it is though.
We'll be getting to that in just a second. I gotta dip. Alright guys, welcome to the first of the 3v3's. Nope, no remap required. Playing as Brazil for Clan OP is Swissy Civ. Playing for KC as Egypt is Cloudpaw. As Japan for OP is El Stretcho. The Aztecs, picked up by KC as well, is Stasic. And as Macedon for OP is Rom. Oh, I agree, these starting positions are terrible, however, they don't fall into the remap requirements within the league, so it stays. Yeah, this whole map is like riddled with fucking deserts. This looks more like a fractal than a Pangea, I'm not gonna lie. But it's Pangea, we went over the settings. Gonna get rid of these pesky notifications on the side so we can focus on the good ones that we're really looking for. Do you have a pause coming out from Guy? My presence has been requested. What's going on?
Yo, Cloudpaw didn't know not to look at the stream, so he already looked at the starts for the other team, so I'm
What?
just-
What do you mean you didn't know not to look at the stream?
If you want honesty, this is my first time doing any CCC stuff.
So
Oh my god.
I kind of have to call ourselves here. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna go talk to the other team. Hold on.
Ah, fuck.
Hey guys, the other team wants to know if you guys would like to do a remap because of how terrible the terrible things are.
No.
Oh, and also fucking apparently Cloud's looking at my fucking stream.
Well, I would think that that's a DQ and a problem, first of all. But second of all, I have a fucking 5 tile and 2-3, a 2-3, a 2-2, and a 2-2. So definitely not.
This mod does not give bad starts.
They're the offending team. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I think cloud stream sniping is a problem that the leadership to decide how to handle, and if anything should be penalized, but we want to keep the map. Like, I think you guys should like deduct a point from like their score and give it to us, or like a DQ's a little bit overboard, but they know the exact map, so either we should be allowed to have one of our players look at the map to equalize their transgression, or there should be some sort of penalty, because now they know where to move their units, they know where to move their scouts, they know where the city states are, so I'm significantly pissed.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be fully honest with you with this, all right? I'll agree with what you guys want to do, because again, they are the offending team on this. Guy got my attention to it because this fucking Cloud's the one that did it, and apparently this is Cloud's first time doing anything in a tournament setting. So
you think that you could fucking stream snipe?
Apparently.
No, it isn't. He played in the last CCC.
Did he now? Alright, I'll deal with him for lying later. So we're gonna deal with this shit now. Fucking... They are the offending team. I can either go get Canuck and we can force a fucking problem, or you guys can determine what wants to happen here. I'm giving you that opportunity first.
Yeah, either they get DQ'd or we stream snipe back.
Alright, I'm gonna go grab Canuck because I do need his okay out before I do something like that. Canuck!
Yep.
One of your players just stream sniped.
Ouch.
Really?
Is that
Yes.
against the rules?
So, here's the situation, what's going on right now. Alright? The guy flagged my attention because Cloud apparently stream sniped, but he's apparently never been in a tournament setting before, so didn't think it was a problem. OP is pissed, and reasonably so. And fucking, in all honesty, this falls under grounds of a disqualification, but I did offer OP the opportunity to determine their punishment. So, a DQ is on the table here. I need your approval before I do shit. I'm only a moderator in this.
Yep. You're the tournament director. You can decide what goes on with KC. I'm gonna stay out of it, but I'll give you the authority to decide what to do with the KC team.
Oh, Sonic has authority.
And now to go mad with power!
He can indeed.
No. Alright.
Quickly, Sonic, take over the Discord.
Alright, so... You done fucked up.
I mean, I will disconnect, and I will not play for this match or for any other match if that's what you require.
Sarnath, we think either a DQ or us being able to stream snipe to equalize the amount of knowledge, or a point penalty are what would be the fairest verdicts. But it's up to you guys. I mean,
well, I have conferred with other admins. Canuck did not get to weigh into the decision because he is a part of KC. I have messaged some of the other admins as well and gotten their responses. And KC, you were disqualified from this match.
Understood. I apologize.
For all the viewers out there, I apologize. However, this is an issue of also integrity. OP wins the match because of the disqualification. I'm going to move on to stream another match. The only issue with that, Maxad, is because there's no telling what he's already told his team within their channel. There is a meta, kind of, right now. It's all about the cavalry timing, but that's going to be turned on its head in the expansion. I'm just typing this up into the system so that the person keeps track of points can do it. It's a real shame, though. These were amazing players. This would have been an incredible match to watch. Yeah, but players that were within Casey's own team didn't want to play with the double stream sniping to balance the knowledge. Like his own team was very much upset with what happened and didn't want to do that either. Anyway, I'm going to move on. I'm going to go ahead and figure out what game is happening next, and I'm going to hop right on that for you guys, for viewers. I'm going to post up the schedule so you guys have something to look at other than a Civ 6 starting screen. Big thanks again to everyone who is joining us throughout the event. I would have Jungle as soon as I looked at my viewers list. I have both viewers lists for both YouTube Live and Twitch up. I was just going over the start to see if a remap needed to happen and was doing intros to what was going on first. I do keep a very close eye on my viewers lists. It looks like I'll be hosting one of the 2v2's. One of the biggest things, though, is outside of tournament settings, yeah, just like Agathy said, the players get to decide. We use a bot with a bunch of votes on it, and you, the players in the lobby, vote for the map settings, which civs are banned, and everything like that. Hey guys, how you doing?
Good morning.
Morning. I'm going to be hosting you guys' 2v2. I got things going up already. I'm about to start the game, start the lobby, so we can get things going underway.
I just go out from stream page then.
That would be a great idea.
Yeah, I see what happened.
Sarnath, that last thing was unbelievable.
Well, it is what it is. It's happened. It's time to move on.
I just couldn't believe he was just so casual about it. He was just like, "Oh yeah."
I like the Poland DLC, Pizza Lord, because I love playing as Poland. I just love everything about it. Hey man, thank you so much for the support. Hope you enjoy the matches as much as I do casting them. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to the expansion a lot. I know I'm going to be streaming a ton that opening week for sure. Who's your second player, guy? Do you know?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
Don't play if there's no duels coming soon.
I'm just asking, it's never happened before, like somebody snitching on stream, or people do that?
Honestly, it hasn't happened in a very, very long time. And because people in the league, they have a lot of integrity. Like, look what happened here. Someone stream sniped, and a guy from some team said, "Dude, that's fucked up. Hey, yeah, admin, we need to solve this." And that just goes to attest to the integrity that guy has as an individual. He stepped up.
Saved me like 3 hours of my time. We were gonna get our ass kicked anyway.
Well, you're still going to get your ass kicked here.
Damn!
Oh,
got him!
I mean, we've got the attitude, so you gotta be careful.
Oh.
Let me go talk to Canuck one second.
And I just hope I don't finish between two this time like yesterday.
The game with Yoshi's already started.
Are you guys the 2v2 team?
Yeah? Are we playing against OP or against KC? We're ready for either, it doesn't matter for us. It's up to tournament director, I guess.
Looks like they're sorting that too.
I mean, we could
the
play
shit with the
versus
3v3's through the 2v2's through the fucking ringer, and double host the same game.
We could play the first team that is ready, simply. Try to get things going.
I wish, man, if I had that beast of a machine and double monitors, I could do it, but I don't. Maybe something for the future when I have some more money to sink into a real powerhouse of a computer.
Looks like we don't play versus KC anyway in the schedule, so we should play against OP right now.
If both teams are ready, we can just knock this out.
Alright, yeah, we'll do it.
Good deal.
Joining us or something?
Yeah, I have the lobby up, man. I'm ready.
I kind of wish that they agreed to let us stream snipe to play the game, but whatever.
Hey, you know, it is what it is. I tried to put some of the power on you guys into the players' hands to see what would happen, and you guys couldn't reach an agreement, so I took control of the situation.
Yeah, I mean, did you see my start? I had a 5-0.
Oh, I saw everybody's start. That's what led to the problem.
Did we look like we had a better layout than them?
Overall, I'd say yeah, but everyone was pretty equally fucked with Desert. Rom was on a fucking island.
I think you had the edge, OP. Fishy would have won this.
Let's be honest, we had a better team than them. But even without that, I think we had the better land.
Well, we'll see. Hey guy, what's up?
Yo, either Grim Stripper or Stosich is coming in a few minutes.
Oh, okie doke then. We need to get Sunzi's team online. Because from what I'm looking at, it looks like you guys are going to be versing Sunzi next, guy.
Okay.
Again, I do apologize to you guys as players in this event. The schedule was supposed to be set and locked in, and there was a bit of someone dropping the ball in a rather huge way, and it's caused this entire issue. So again, I do apologize as a part of the staff.
It's all good, man.
Hey man, there are no hard-coded maps. Thanks a lot for the support, by the way.
Sorry,
the mods. I have the game up for NWA vs OP. That's what I got told to throw up.
Oh, I thought it was 2v2 NWA and KC.
I thought it was 2, but
Yo guys.
it's
Well,
apparently NWA vs OP.
Yeah, there was no one around at 10 o'clock, so we asked Canuck if we could just get our second game out of the way, and he agreed. So I think you guys are playing NWA.
No, they're playing.
At 2.
They're playing. Oh, at 2, yeah, probably.
Canuck just told me that we needed someone for a 2v2 now. Since a lot of
What
the
the
games
hell?
Yeah, I think
So I don't know.
you guys are supposed to play Sunzi now, then, I think.
I know Yoshi's trying to sort shit out, but he's in the middle of a fucking game, too.
Oh, we're playing Sunzi. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I got told. Alright, Rom, I have the game up if you're the second player. We're just waiting on you.
Rom's just finishing a cigarette.
Oh, okay. No worries, man.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, I just got back.
Alright, cool deal. We're just waiting on you.
Alright, one moment, let me get the game started.
I wish I could fucking make channels still, but I'm a moderator. I'd make a fucking channel for this 2v2. Because we have all these 3v3 channels, but no 2v2 channels.
We may still use normal teamers channels.
Yeah, fuck it. We'll just use those.
I can always edit this one right here and add one. I'll do it right now.
Alright, Grim Stripper, we're doing a different game, so we should probably leave.
Good luck in your games, guys. The next match coming up is going to be between OP and NWA in a 2v2. I'll go down the player list shortly. And the mods being used are the Spectator mod and the Better Start Balance by Waza.
Yeah, so
It's produced some amazing maps throughout this tournament.
Consider for the future is have the schedules laid out and maybe make it so like if you don't find suitable subs within half an hour, you're automatically DQ'd, or like a point deduction if you don't get people in within an hour.
Yeah, I mean, if you remember, like, when we were setting this up, that is something that both you and I agreed on was supposed to be a thing, but I guess that apparently didn't make it through.
My decisions haven't really been valued in the admin meetings for quite some time, so that's why I didn't care when you guys booted me out.
I had no say in that. Hell, I got demoted too, dude.
I'm not sure where my channel went. I created the channel. Well, I changed the name for this one at least. So.
It's gonna have some random channel. Hey Yoshi, you need to fix that. So get some random channel somewhere.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Oh my gosh.
Well, why don't you get in the game in the meantime?
Yeah. All right. We're gonna go over the game settings since all of you guys are here.
Can you just copy and paste them? Because I'm not gonna remember them.
Sure. I'll put them in the lobby.
It's both already.
Yeah, we're almost good to go.
Yeah, I'm in.
I mean, both command. Nobody don't do both command.
I think the settings are already decided for this, but I didn't check yet.
Alright, so it's pre-decided settings and capture 2 city states. Do you guys want to agree to vote on bans instead of the original 3?
Yeah, I agree.
I have a game bot throwing things up. Just go ahead and vote for the civ bans that you guys want to do, but do remember that the original 3 civs that are listed are still
actually.
Just bans.
just for the civ bans at the bottom. But remember that the 3 hard-coded bans are still in place. And for stating purposes, for the rest of the settings that are hard-coded, turn timer 180, ancient era start, the map style is Pangea, city-state rules, capture 2, burn the rest. Wonder bands include the Apadana, Venetian Arsenal, and the Mausoleum at Helicarnassus. Religious choices that are banned are Crusader and Defender of the Faith. God of the Forge as a pantheon is banned. Classical generals fall under Rule A for League standards, and that means classical generals must stay within your controlled territories. Barbarians are turned off. Nukes are allowed. Are there any questions at this time?
Nope.
We're ready.
Alright, as soon as you guys are done voting, we'll see what the drafts are going to look like. And we don't even need to switch player slots. You guys are evenly spread already.
Life is beautiful.
Well, you could argue that you guys first pick, so that's...
Oh!
I don't care the slot order if you want to change it.
Talk about some sportsmanship right there. And there you guys go. As you can see, we are all in lobby. Players are voting on some additional civ bans to further restrict the draft a little bit. And once they get their drafts, they're going to talk amongst themselves as a team and work out what civs they want to play and how they want to coordinate themselves. I would love to see some terrain modifications to the ocean, because oceanic combat, it's too straightforward. There's no storms, there's no heavy seas, there's nothing restricting the movement of boats, things like the tide and stuff like that. And we do have the technology nowadays to implement those things in games. So I would love to see Firaxis do something like that. They're not making the bans as a team picking bans, they're voting on it as an entire lobby, like a normal league game on the bot. Huge thanks to all of our viewers out there, whether you're joining us on YouTube Live or over on Twitch. We got an excellent match here between the NWA and OP. We have 4 incredible players here. These guys have already done an amazing job over the weekend in their other matches, and I cannot wait to see what they have in store for us today.
Alright, so I found my channel. It's actually on the top of the CCC tourney, so I think Stretch, you and I can go to that one. It's got the lowercase. I don't know why it didn't go up uppercase. I tried twice to fix that.
Alright, then WA can stay here to negotiate what they want to do as a team, and you guys can go up there. Alright, ping me if you need me, guys. Good luck, gentlemen.
Good luck.
Doing a rundown for the players here. Playing for the NWA, we have Agathy and Azazel PD. Representing OP is El Stretcho and Rom. I'm telling you, these are four incredible players. Especially Rom and El Stretcho stand out to me here. I've also known them for quite a bit longer than I've known Agathy and Azazel. So I'm very interested to see how these four players work as a team. In their groups of two here. And it's going to be an incredible showing. They're all excellent with war moves. They're great with managing their economies. And I can't wait to see what they bust out for us today. And the drafts are up. For OP, their selection includes America, Norway, Japan, India, Macedon, Poland, Khmer, and China. The NWA has a selection of Brazil, Congo, Arabia, Aztec, Spain, England, France, and Indonesia. All the Civs listed do bring their own thing to the table. Nothing really stacked one way or the other, as we've seen some incredible turns by Civs that most people would just overlook in favor of others. So far, America being picked out by El Stretcho for OP. Gonna try and use that continent bonus for America to really secure some power. Arabia being picked up by Agathy. Brazil being taken by Azazel. And Japan being taken by Rom. Going eye for an eye in terms of SimCity Civs and more combative Civs early on. Brazil known for quite the SimCity powerhouse with Rainforest, and Japan with its beautiful adjacency bonuses. We're definitely in for a real treat here. And all the players are ready, so we are starting this off. And this is the NWA versus OP in a 2v2. Alright, we are loaded in and I am taking around. Let's see. Arabia is alright. Japan is alright. America's okay. And where is... There's Brazil. Alright, players are set. This is not... No remap is required. Brazil is all alone, and we're going to take a closer look at that as I get rid of these pesky notifications real quick. We don't want to see all this crap to start. We want to know the good stuff. So take a look first at Arabia since we're here. I'm going to turn on the yield icons for you guys so you can see exactly what he's working with. He does have a desert hill here, which is a bit of a pain, but he has some beautiful rice and 2-2 just that it can expand to, as well as some amazing marble, stone, and even a horse here, and a second horse close by. He does have a 2-2 and another 2-2, as well as a 2-1, and he's settled on cattle, so his city will grow very quickly. Now, at his immediate neighbors are both of the OP players, and that is a bit concerning. Rom getting quite the beautiful spawn here with triple rice, one in a marsh. His capital is going to grow incredibly quickly, and he has 1-3, a 2-2 to work as well for production with a 1-3, a marble over there, a truffle nearby, as well as a horse. He has some amazing tiles to work with, including these 1-4s up here in the deer. Taking a look at America. America's starting to scout west, and looks to probably send a scout eastward. Does have some good wheat here nearby, has some pretty good land here, has the truffle nearby, has some salt as well, has a 2-2 to work with, as well as these 2 1s and a 1-2. Not as good as his ally. Meanwhile, out east, in pretty much BFE by comparison, Brazil has all the space in the world here with his Azazel. He did get a 3-2 banana with another one nearby, a 1-2-2 copper hill as well as diamonds in the capital. So this is an incredible start for him. He does have some good plains hills to work. And if he identifies his isolationism, he's going to be able to do a lot of work with it, especially if he can get these horses online, and he could even go after America from behind. So Stretch will have to be very careful about that. But there's going to be no way for him to militarily support Agathy here, who's on the other side of this very narrow choke point here. He's going to have to attack Stretcho directly if he wants to support Agathy at all in terms of military strength. So we're going to have to wait and see what decisions the players make here. We have some early scouts coming out for our players. Roms is a little bit behind because he has more food than production for the moment. Players' culture grab is grabbing a marble tile for Agathy, the truffle for Rom, and a truffle gets grabbed as well by El Stretcho. Looking over at Brazil, the 1-2-2 copper gets taken. He'll be enjoying some more production and possible gold generation as well over time. Just depends on what tiles he wants to work. In terms of natural wonders, we do have an Uluru right here in the desert. Unfortunately, it's mostly flat. However, if Arabia can get to knights and survive the early game here, we're going to do a check on the continents here in a second. If he can survive the early game, he does have a lot of horses here. He doesn't even take the risk with the forward horse. He can settle back and grab the horses here. So he can play a defensive war and get a ton of horses churned out while he works towards Mamluks. Uh-oh. Well, America's continent does cover Arabia, so he is going to be in quite a bit of trouble here. Second scout coming out for Agathy as well. As well as America. Brazil making a second scout as well, so we're going to have to see exactly what choices these players want to make in this game. As soon as they identify Arabia as this close, they are both going to be gunning for him for sure, especially being on the same continent. And with this, they will see each other. They will know that they are close by. If he can secure these two horses, because these are going to be heavily contested. But these two he can secure more safely, and if he can get those online, he'll be in excellent shape. However, Rom does have a horse near him as well. El Stretcho will have to settle forward to secure this horse. A third scout coming out for El Stretcho here. Taking a look for our Brazil player here, seeing what he's up to. Nothing new coming out yet on to turn 7. Possibly working on a settler early or even a monument. Unfortunately, demographs are bugged for team games, so we're not going to be able to take a close look and see exactly what the players are doing there. El Stretcho and Rom are sending their units toward Arabia's direction here to see if they can apply some early pressure. Really try to do some soft containment. Meanwhile, Azazel is out exploring the map here. He's going to find himself alone here for the most part, and he'll be able to get a lot of work done with that. We even have the Pantanal here nearby as well. He does have the Dead Sea in the far right corner, but that is mostly tundra. War declaration does go out. OP declares on to NWA. Settlers coming out for Rom. El Stretcho's closing the gap on an Agathy here. His warrior's been moving back as well to defend. Some decent city-states here behind Brazil that he can really use to his advantage as well. Buenos Aires allows your bonus resources to act like luxuries, whereas non-Madol districts on the coast, this includes your city center that are on or next to coastal tiles, also get +2 culture, so we could see Brazil really explode. He has tons of good settles on the coast. Very likely to see a settler pop for El Stretcho soon as well. And a scout is found from a goodie hut for Rom's Japan. I have to wait and see what Agathy is going to do in response here. I'm assuming there will be a settler coming out. And he's definitely going to want to try and send that north to get that horse. There is the settler as expected, and it is indeed heading north. The warrior fortifies to secure the pass to deny the settle for the double horse. Scout is looking to see what else he can snag here, so he's going to have to bring his scout back to escort that settler. Rom fortifies his warrior, walking his settler with a scout, ensure that it doesn't get snagged. It is sending another scout north through El Stretcho's area to help scout east. Settler comes out for Brazil. Looks like it's going to be moving forward to this horse. It would be an interesting play to see if they do it that way. I would assume that they'd give Japan all of this area, and Elstretcho would settle east to do that, simply because there's a lot of turns involved before shipbuilding, where he's going to have to walk around with the settler. It's going to take so long to get it to do it over there. Whereas Elstretcho cuts literally half the distance just from its position. And there is the settler as expected there. Elstretcho creeping his warrior forward and fortifying it. This scout needs to come back to escort this settler. We could see a settler snatch. And no, he is actually going to move it forward towards Agathy as well. They're really going to try and restrict him here. I wonder if they'll forward settle right on top of him to get these horses. Oh, for sure, I could see that. And he does link this up with the scout so that that settler will not be at risk. Definitely going to need to see some more combat units come out of Agathy's capital here. And this has to be very careful. We could see some really nasty things happen here. Looks like he bought a slinger there. We're going to check Agathy's gold to see if that was the case. Yep, he did buy a slinger there. Likely to be researching archery then. Coming into turn 13, settlers are moving forward. Scouts creeping up. It's going to see the settler there. Agathy needs to link this up. And he is on America's continent, so the slinger alone is not going to be enough to escort this settler. But if he moves the warrior out, Elstretcho could start assailing the city. Especially if Rom moves this warrior with it. What is Agathy going to do about this? Needs to bring that scout down so we can support this. Oh no, he got it. Oh man, that's devastating. This is why you do not move your settlers unescorted, guys. You cannot be moving your settlers around without units, guys. It's not worth the risk. This is likely to be where he settles. Well, actually, I could see him settling here, but if he settles here, he could get a good settle on this hill, some really good tiles on it, and spread into the Pantanal. And he'd still get the horse access that he's wanting. That being the case, we're going to have to see if Ram is going to end up settling here next turn, or if he's going to go down one onto this hill here. I don't think he's going to walk it all the way up here, so it's quite a long ways to go. If he gets a trader up to make a road, it won't be so bad to reinforce his troops when they attack Agathy. But we'll have to see how this pans out. Agathy needs to make more military troops. Losing that settler is just so detrimental. Into turn 15. Scout fortifies, Slinger hits the scout, and the settler walks. However, he does have a scout here that he could try to recover it if he's fast enough. There's other scouts coming down as well. Oh, but well, Stretcho links up and promotes that scout. Other settler is moving forward. Rom does indeed plant there. He's going to slowly move his cities forward. They have one horse online at the moment. I was surprised to not see this settle gone for. He could have settled right here on the flat grass, and he could have bought the horse tile. But he has other things in mind. We'll just have to wait and see. And the settle does go down here next to the rice instead of on it. City's going to grow incredibly quickly. Pantheon Open Sky is picked up by Brazil. Rom taking Divine Spark, El Stretcho taking God of Craftsman. Agathy has not gotten his Pantheon just yet. He opted probably to slot the policy card Urban Planning for the extra production. We'll have to wait and see how things turn out there. We will periodically go to check on Brazil, but almost everything going on is happening right over here between these three players. We're definitely going to keep the focus there. El Stretcho's warrior has moved up as well to help guard the settler. We're very likely to see a settle go down right here, perhaps. Because I would imagine he'd want to get this settle down over here so he could reach the horse. This is just like you say, you know, he's going to box Agathy in rather tightly here. It's going to be very difficult for Agathy to fight this. It's mostly because of the combat bonus America gets on his home continent. For those of you who are just joining us today, I will pull up the continents for you. Arabia is on El Stretcho's continent, and this continent does stretch out all the way out, almost entirely to Brazil. However, there is a huge chunk of land that Brazil can utilize that is not on America's continent. So some of the fighting will be going on where America will lose that bonus. But for the time being, WA is going to have to deal with that. And another settler comes out for Agathy. Not deterred by what happened, he is going to push on. So good on him. Looks like Alstrecho has different plans for where this settler is going to be. I thought he would settle here. It's a really good settle in and of itself, but it looks like he has other plans. Going to take advantage of this one to go check on Brazil to see what the happenings of the world are there. He has a warrior escorting another settler. It looks like he's going to go into some infinite city sprawl mode here. He does have iron here. He could get that online and send it to Agathy so he can use some swords or something to defend himself with. And it looks like this settler is going to be back settling for sure. He is going to be pretty harshly contained for this. And this is the price you pay when you don't escort your settlers appropriately. And the only reason Alstrecho's gotten away with this settler being alone is because his ally scouts, as well as his own, are keeping a very close eye on where every single unit of Agathy's is. And he is now linking up to escort that. City trading? No, we don't do city trading. And it's a really bugged situation. Oh, just dropped the city of Los Angeles, but Agathy has it under siege. And oh, that warrior, see, that +5 bonus is just huge. Just did 60 damage to that slinger. You only have 40 left. City trading is really buggy. If you trade, let's say I'm Rome and you're Russia, right? And I drop a city, hey look, it's a free monument. And I trade it to you, you get it, Russia's land grabs a ton of additional tiles, and let's say you give it back to me because it was my city, it'll be in a state of permanent occupation and have no growth and crap production the entire game. It's a bugged situation. We're not too sure exactly what causes it in the coding. We just know what triggers the situation to happen. It's the trading of the cities. So it's just not worth trading cities in team games because of that. If that's fixed, we'll have to relook at that. Scout retreating. While this scout is putting a zone of control here and here, as well the warrior putting one here as well. The slinger retreats and promotes as well. Scout promotes. If this scout hits a third promotion, we could see it get the +20 combat strength in all situations promotion. And that would be incredibly detrimental right now. More slingers coming out for Arabia, so we're probably going to see some archers here. Taking another look over at Brazil. He's just walking his settlers around, dropping more cities. Has a warrior here to kind of shoo away Alstrecho's scout. However, he does have bronze working, so I'm surprised we're not seeing any encampments come down. Maybe not perhaps for the general, but just to work with the limited resources, since he will have to give some to Agathy from to defend himself. Warrior is bashing the city here, does some damage. Rom coming into support with these scouts here is going to try and kill this one off, and that will unsiege the city. Slingers are moving forward, but Rom's warrior has arrived to the battlefield. This is going to put Agathy in a pretty precarious situation. His settler is moving back farther to drop a settle back. He needs to get some more cities down behind this if he's going to do that. And this second city needs to do nothing but make military units if he's going to use his capital for settlers like that. But honestly, I think he should flip that situation and use settlers or something out of this city and pump nothing but military out of the capital. He's going to need the troops for sure, especially fighting against America's +5. El Stretcho sending another settler here, just really trying to tighten the noose. Now, all the cities he puts over here is restricting Rom, so Rom will eventually have to come over to this continent to make cities, or he will fall into irrelevancy rather quickly. That being said, Azazel is doing a pretty darn good job. He's on 3 cities already, has iron revealed for his team. Still hasn't gotten either of these horses online, but he may get both online and just go Horse America from behind. So we'll have to see what happens here for sure. We are only at turn 20. Absolutely, definitely needs to get in there and support his ally. This conflict just happened so early, especially with losing the settler, that Brazil just didn't have the time to get everything up that he needed to. The 2 cities he has immediately settled are for the horses for sure, though. Turn 21. Warrior fortifies, scout gets picked off. Slingers are poising up. Another warrior comes out for Agathy on the defense. His other scout does get to its 2nd promotion. El Stretcho fortifies a scout here, unsieging the city. Rom taking up a defensive position here. Trader is coming out to build a road to the capital to help reinforce much quicker. Scout does get cleaned up over here in Brazil's land, so he will be safe to really get his builders out now. He needs to get these horses online and get west to hit El Stretcho to help his ally. Speaking of builders, Rom has got another one rolling around here. He's doing plenty of tile improvements back at home. Gonna build his couple of cities up pretty tall from what I'm seeing. But the real heart of the conflict is still right here at home. Jeddah gets thrown down by Agathy here in the back. It's going to have some pretty good production here as well as some good growth. So we could see this city explode in terms of its population to really start churning things out. That being said, he does need to get another settler up here to this horse so he can do something. He needs to get bronze working so he can drop some encampments. But he needs to. He has a lot he needs to do to really get this defense to work. We'll have to wait and see what he decides to do with that. Warrior in Los Angeles hitting the fortified warrior here by Agathy. He needs to get this out while he still can. And that is exactly what he does, retreating it across the river, bringing the scout around. If they have taken military tradition, which is right here, it will give flanking support bonuses to your combat units. Until then, you don't get anything for supporting or flanking units. So it is a very important civic. All the players are neck and neck right now, mostly focusing on war with the exception of Brazil and Japan. Techs are pretty low lined up. Brazil is leading for the time being. And Japan has hit classical era as well, focusing on that tech advancement. Units fortifying, gets the warrior up front, pulls the slingers back. Hopefully archery tech here. We'll have to see if he gets upgrades on these scouts. Gets a builder out of his capital, hoping to probably get some good chops out. Use those chops to really push some more units out en masse. Builders coming out behind this, and for El Stretcho getting some tile improvements. Gets a slinger of his own, archery probably on the way. Improves the horse. Rom has a horse improved as well, getting a third one online soon, probably this turn to be honest. Unless he's chopping this woods first. That being the case, there will be 2 horses for OP's team, and America will be the one using those horses for sure, taking full advantage of that continent bonus, and that is going to be pretty damning for Agathy. He will have to do an amazing job to make the most of that. 1 horse online for Brazil. He needs to get that other one online and start getting horses out immediately to help his ally. His scouts, however, are now finding El Stretcho's land, so he will be able to know where his target is. One slinger does get upgraded to an archer this turn, as we see. Obviously does have his archery tech. He needs to get more of these slingers up. Does he have the money though? He does not. Only sitting on 18 gold. What about his ally Brazil? Brazil is also broke at the moment at 8 gold a turn, while Agathy himself is at 6. So they're making gold between them. Oh, there is another upgrade coming out. It looks like Brazil had just sent gold to Agathy for that very purpose, and that's why we saw the 0, because it was tied up in a trade. One of the warrior coming out for El Stretcho here. I'm surprised to see that archer is upgraded. I was surprised to see horses be coming out, but he may not have horseback riding yet. Taking a quick look at the tech tree, and it's absolutely that right there. They simply aren't at horseback riding yet. However, with the pasture, that will give them the boost in order to get it. Archer is moved down to the side here to make room for this archer to come down. All 3 slingers have been upgraded. Agathy has a really strong position right here that he can defend from. The biggest issue is going to be whether or not he can hold the north when El Stretcho swings around. Still no builder in Brasilia to get that horse online. Another scout. Scout returns to El Stretcho's capital. Looks like he's going to send it east to try and contend and harass Brazil. If Agathy can draw this out into some kind of a relevancy war, then these two will be very heavily tied up with things. That is a very tall task, though, when contending against a +5 combat bonus from America. Warrior retreats. After getting shot, gets a promotion up. Archer moves on to the hill. Warrior moves up to support. These archers are down here on the hills. They should be able to take some shots onto warriors here. Instead, Agathy promoting the archer. Fortified one holding the line here. Builders coming out. Warrior comes out of Jeddah to help support the fight. If I mean, Agathy needs to get his hands on state workforce for the conscription card so he can generate tons of archers. And with the conscription card slotted, archers will not have a maintenance cost, because if you look, archers have a maintenance cost of 1 gold a turn per archer. With that card, they're free, and you can make, there's pretty much a limitless amount of them. So that, how that impacts your economy is very important. And that is why these policy cards from your civic tree are so important. They so heavily impact things. And here comes a mine. It looks like he bought that tile there. I'm not entirely certain why he did. He has multiple 2-2s. He has 4, in fact, right here, that he could be improving and working with, including chops. So I'm not too sure why he's not just chopping land here. No new units coming out top of the turn here just yet. Nothing new for El Stretcho in his capital either. Taking a quick look. Oh, we have combat going on. Archers taking shots at the warrior. Scout gets shot by the archer as well, doing significant damage, 43. The scout does move away. Warriors coming up to support Rom's forces here in the south. Rom not really dedicating to any militarizing right now, just focusing on his economy. Has another settler coming out. El Stretcho makes an archer back at home to scare away these scouts, and it does exactly that. Builders running back to go improve some more tiles back home. More warriors coming out. Archers are still poised on their hills. This one actually moving up and around to get onto the hill to shoot at this archer. Some excellent unit positions here from Agathy, doing a good job covering for his archers. This one is rather exposed, and he's going to realize that once he knows this warrior's here. He can see it from the other hill. Archers taking shots onto the Rom's warrior, and they do get killed off. He needs to get another warrior into this tile, though. He has to be guarding his troops. These archers are very important. He needs to keep them alive, and if El Stretcho first moves this warrior next turn, it is going to die. Trader out building that crucial road there. And roads may not seem like a big deal to you guys, thinking they're only for trade routes, right? But roads speed up the movement of your soldiers, and they get better as you progress through the eras. And that's why later on in the game you'll see tanks moving all the way through empires. That's why not only city placement being crucial, but this being where it is, this road will provide extra movement across the river as well. And that'll actually be a pretty big factor as troops travel along it. More archers coming out for El Stretcho here at top of the turn of 28. And we have more combat going on. Archers taking shots on the warrior. El Stretcho does first move to the horse tile. The question is will August be able to kill this warrior before it can promote? An archer coming to support in the bottom here. Warriors are moving to poise up. He does retreat his archer there. And the warrior on the horse tile does get killed off for it. Encampment coming down for Agathy as well. Could be trying to get a great general. I'm going to take a quick look at the great people now. First general up is Boudica. First scientist is Yul Cid. But no one has any campuses down just yet. Second horse is finally online for Brazil. Another settler coming out. He's in full SimCity mode, but he needs more builders out. He needs to get these tiles improved. Not just because to improve them, but especially this iron and this horse needed to come online. You need to have those in order to really do something with them. Builds are coming back to Jeddah here to help work some of these tiles to really up its production. El Stretcho's chopping something out. Not too sure what it is just yet. Top of turn 29, more archers coming out here. Remember, these do have +5 combat strength being on America's continent. These are going to do quite a bit of damage to these warriors, especially the archers if they get shots off. However, Agathy's archers are doing considerable damage to their forces, but he is contained, so they have succeeded there. El Stretcho up on 4 cities now. Ram is looking to ek out his 3rd and 4th. He has 2 settlers out. Meanwhile, in the east, Brazil just kind of keeping tabs, has scouts fortified in key areas, and this one's just sitting there for now. He is, however, continually expanding, has another builder out to continue to improve tiles, and he has both of those horses, so it's only a matter of time before we see horses come out. I imagine both America and he are at horseback riding now, with Ram opting to go for commercial hubs immediately. Going to fund America's war for this. Want to take advantage of this moment to thank all of you for joining us throughout the weekend, whether you're joining us just now or you've been here since the beginning, either on Twitch or YouTube Live. We really appreciate your viewership and support. And I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to cheer these players on as they fly the flags of their communities or clans to show their dominance throughout a series of events, whether they're free-for-alls, duels, or team games like this one. And a huge thanks to everyone who's donated over the weekend to the Extra Life and Children Miracle Network charities. It's been an absolutely wonderful cause, and it's been a great weekend for it as well. They just do so much for children and families in need, whether they're helping pay for treatments and surgeries in the emergency room that have saved countless lives, as well as treatments for children with cancer, autism, and even diabetes. A huge thank you for that. Coming into turn 30 now, we do have the first horse from America now, and as they see the combat strength of the cities increase from the horse being out in the field now, they will know it is coming. Only one horse, though, for the time being. We need some military support from Brazil here. We need to see those horses. He could just run units like this archer down like dogs if he gets them out, but he needs to get them over there as well, and that could be a problem because he can't send them one at a time. He has to send them at least in groups of 3 or 4 to get anything done. Archer steps up and takes a shot on the fortified archer of Agathy. His archer does return fire. Archer steps up to provide fire support on the fortified warrior. Encampment is down as well. Agathy's archer does step onto this hill here so that these two archers can double team El Stretcho's here. Rom does retreat his injured scout here, leaving this one fortified to block the pass. Agathy is pretty much fully contained here. He does have some room back here that he can settle through rather freely. And they're not all terrible settles, they really aren't. Up here in the tundra it gets pretty rough. But this settle won't be so bad because the double furs, double copper, and he has stone over here as well as some good grassland and plains he can go to. Horse is stepping right on up to those archers' faces though. He's going to have to make a decision here. Now if El Stretcho doesn't first move this archer to death, he could kill off El Stretcho's archer entirely. Retreats the archer. El Stretcho retreats one in the north. The other archer takes a shot on the fortified warrior. However, this horse does chase down the retreating archer here to the left. He pulls down this warrior from the encampment. Start of the turn, archer dies, and the horse goes after the second promoted archer here. It does retreat into the city. El Stretcho's archers just taking shots at these fortified warriors. Ram is now sitting on 4 cities, getting Nagoya and Osaka up as well. Brazil has hit Classical Republic for his government choice, and he's getting city number 5 out. It looks like he has no intention of sending any military aid to Agathy at all. It looks like NWA's strategy is simply to buy time for Brazil to get so much of a lead in terms of science that he can get cavalry and try and run them down that way, but I'm not too sure Agathy can hold on long enough. Our Brazilian player doesn't have a lot of rainforests to work with. They're scattered and intermittent, but we're not going to see any juicy +6s. Coming into the top of turn 33. No new units popping out. You have a horse over here to the side. Oh, Iron gets sent to Augity. There we go. Swordsman being upgraded now. Swordsman can hold off horses rather handedly. But again, Augity is effectively contained at this point. No, there's no walls. I was zooming in to see if we saw wall construction animation here, but that is not the case. Turn 33 passes quickly. We're looking at turn 34 now. The sword promotions for Augity are going to make a huge difference. City Strike jumps to 31 at home. Needs to fortify those swords or start killing these units off. However, more horses from El Stretcho are coming through here. This warrior is badly hurt. Looks like he should retreat it inside the district here. Encampment, I'm sorry. Needs to get these units promoted and healed up. More horses coming around the north bend. Rom sending a trader out to Boston here to build that road. More SimCitying coming out of Brazil here. If you're going to be doing this, man, you need to be pumping settlers out of at least 2 of these cities. If you're going to try this, you're not having much time, man. You're against people that are on 4 cities each respectively, and soon to be more. I'd imagine they will kill Candy eventually, and Yerevan. Taking a look at the great people here, Rom has decided to drop an encampment down to start working on those scientists. And we might see... oh, there's the project there. He is going to get a general. And Boudica is picked up. It's classical general for Augity, and with that, he needs to promote these. He needs to upgrade these warriors to swordsmen, or this general is not going to get anything done. And speaking of which, there's another one getting upgraded. Zazel needs to get some districts down if he's going to sit back. Need to see some campuses as well as some commercial hubs go down here in some of these cities. And he needs to keep pumping settlers out of at least 1 city this entire time. If he's not sending military aid. Alright, coming into the top of turn 35 now. More horses coming out for El Stretcho here. Does upgrade this wounded sword. Oh, the encampment does get taken out though, and the sword dies immediately as a result. General gets kicked back to the city center, but it is still applying to these swordsmen. Does need to get this one fortified up. And El Stretcho will spot Jeddah in the background now. That being the case, he is starting to throw these horsemen at these fortified swords. That sword does get a promotion, however, and be much harder to take down as a result. Commercial hubs are online for Rom as he's continuing to build tall on his 4 cities. 5th city should come down shortly for Brazil. Other than that, not much going district-wise for him just yet. Commercial hubs going down for El Stretcho as well. Iron is in Osaka there. It's not yet improved and online, but it will be in the near future, I would imagine. Iron was in the capital for Agatha as well. So there is 2 iron between both players. Alright, top of turn 37 now. El Stretcho's trying to close in the distance here. However, he is going to meet quite a bit of resistance here with these swords, especially with that general equalizing the +5. Rom getting some horses of his own out, it seems. City number 5 is up for Brazil now. However, El Stretcho, it was probably... Oh, he has a ram coming out as well. Walls are coming online for Agatha, but with the ram already out and moving on its way, it's too little too late at this point. Taking a quick look at the city-states to see if any suzerains have happened. It is not the case. See how Azazel's Brazil is doing on its economy here, because he has been pretty much left alone, sitting on 15 gold a turn in his 5 cities, and he has been sending gold to his ally in Arabia here, played by Agathy. However, taking a look at El Stretcho's America is still positive in gold at 6 a turn, even with his standing forces. Rom's Japan, building a little bit taller, is sitting on 22 a turn and 168 gold, definitely making the most of their situation there. We are, however, at the top of turn 38, and we have more combat ongoing. Walls do come up, and they are taking shots at some of the units around here. There is time before the ram shows up that he could take a pretty good advantage out of. However, he's going to have to do something here because he will eventually lose this iron. I don't imagine El Stretcho will let that go unpillaged until he can comfortably take the city. Archer takes a shot onto the horse with no movement left. Rom's Japan definitely doing an amazing job making gold. And only having this one luxury here that provides gold other than the commercial hubs themselves. Definitely doing an excellent job with his economy and managing his citizens within the cities. Commercial hubs providing 5 gold a turn through adjacencies, another 4 provided from the luxury. Definitely doing an amazing job there. More horses coming out for El Stretcho here, realizing this might take a little bit longer than he'd like. Decides to make some more military units to send up in support. Scout wheels around here to try and help protect Jeddah, but there are 2 archers here as well as the horse that just promoted. So that will be cleaned up in short order. That being said, horses start to move around so that they can get more hits off. Any of these horses that attack this sword, they will have +6 combat strength because of the flanking. However, that sword does have +6 for being on a wooded hill, and another 6 from being fortified, so that bonus will be negated. The archer here is cleaned up by this horseman, as well as the scout getting picked off as well. More El Stretcho's units moving forward to try and enclose the city here. Buenos Aires is picked up as a suzerain by none other than Agathy, actually. So Buenos Aires will be providing amenities to Agathy there in the form of his bonus resources, which at the present includes stone and wheat. Alright. Coming into turn number 40 already. Horse has taken multiple stabs along with the archer on this fortified sword, but this sword is not putting up with any of their crap, doing tons of damage in return. El Stretcho lining up to take the rear city of Jeddah here to try and deny Agathy of some much needed production and gold. Yes, this is a 2v2, and as you can see, the starting positions had El Stretcho here, Rom is down here, Agathy is here, and Brazil is out here. Oh wow, that is weird. When El Stretcho tried to attack out with the horse in the encampment, for some reason it attacked the walls instead. Kind of made everyone go, huh? Because that's not supposed to happen. However, Cities 6 and 7 will be coming up very shortly for Brazil, and we'll take a look at them very soon. Taking another look over here, as I was discussing, settlers number 5 and 6 are I'm sorry, 6 and 7. I can count, I promise. We do have a horse out, probably for an envoy quest though, since he hasn't really done anything to militaristically attack El Stretcho yet. Is just in full city sprawl mode here and is really trying his best to build up his economy, but compared to Rom's Japan, he is quite behind. A second battering ram coming out for El Stretcho here, just in case the other one dies. And there goes Jeddah falling right there. Spearman coming out for Agathy to try and do some damage. Iron is pillaged, rewarding El Stretcho with a little bit of science there, as you saw. It's going to take quite a bit to push these swordsmen out. He's going to need a lot more archers to come along to shoot up into these hills. I have to say, Agathy's doing a pretty good job defending considering his situation and everything that has gone wrong for him this game. If you're wondering why he can't repair his encampment, it's because the walls got hit. You have to wait so many turns of your district not taking damage to the encampment to repair it in its defenses. Trying to explain to Agathy that when a unit hits a city or an encampment with walls, part of that damage is still transferred to the district or city, the city center directly, but most of it is taken on by the wall, and that's why the trigger for a hit on the district is preventing the repair. That being said, Candy is being sieged by Rom's Horseman, and it is most definitely dead next turn. As expected, Candy will fall, and I expect the Airman to be taken as well. The big wonder here is going to be whether or not they can take on Brazil. And honestly, Rom's economy in terms of his gold production is significantly higher than Brazil's at the moment, because Brazil hasn't really been doing anything with districts. A bunch of builders coming out for Rom here, really improving his tiles and making the most of his cities, since he's only working on 4, soon to be 5. El Stretcho's forces recovering from the combat at Jeddah. He's moving things up, takes out the walls of the encampment. It is moving to secure those tiles. Another ram is coming up here, though. Candy does fall right there, and Rom is now sitting on 5 cities. Another settler coming out for Brazil, really getting in and digging in with that city count. He does need to make districts, though. He needs to start building tall, because his other opponents are building a little tall while they go wide as well. He's going to be very hard pressed to combat that economy. Scientist is picked up by Rom, as well as the merchant. The next merchant is going to be Marco Polo, and the scientist will be Hildegard. More campuses coming online for Rom, in addition to some more commercial hubs. Six City is dropped by Brazil now. Number 7 and 8 are on the way. Once again, in Agathi's defense here, he's doing a very good job with very limited resources here. Coming to the top of turn 42 now. More horses coming up for El Stretcho as he moves his units further up. Moves the archer out of the city. I don't understand why he would do this. And it does die as a result of that action. That was a triple promoted archer. Why would you move it out? Rom here focusing on using Crassus here to claim that marble tile out for his capital, getting that free luxury added in for himself. Commercial hub's coming down. Looks like El Stretcho's planning on building tall. Feels comfortable with the troops he's got to finish Agathy off. But we'll have to see. We could see some sort of upset here. He is going to have to retreat this sword into the city, though, so that he can increase the city strength here a little bit. But once this battering ram gets over, it's going to be a really hard struggle. It looks like Brazil is looking to move forward, but El Stretcho is sending forces east now, looking to meet him head on. And he has now entered America's continent now, so he's going to have to contend with that +5 bonus. Agatha just informing me that the stuff that we're looking at as a bug with that encampment and whatnot, he's put over to the bug report channel so that we can look it over, get it all put up, because we try to send bug reports to Firaxis and 2K on a fairly regular basis, and we try to really flesh them out and compile them so they actually have something to work with, not, hey, shit be broke, yo. That's not going to help them fix it. So we have to really dig into logs and really look into what might have caused it, and we try to send all of that information to them as well. And because of that, you know, we really do try to put a lot of effort into this and really try to make the game great and help out however we can. We're not official bug testers. We're not officially supported by Firaxis or 2K in any way. But we do try our best with what we can do. Once again, I'd like to thank all of our viewers out there, whether you've been here the entire time or just joining us now. Really do appreciate you taking the time to come out and support not only me as a streamer, but also these players as well, as they're flying the flags of their clans and communities, really trying to show who is best across multiple events, where it's duels, free-for-alls, or team games like this one. A huge thank you to all of you. And a special thanks goes out to everyone who's donated to the charity event throughout the weekend for the Extra Life and Children Miracle Network. They just do so many wonderful things for families and children in need, whether it's paying for treatments and surgeries in the emergency room, with children with cancer, diabetes, and even autism. They just do so much out there for kids and families in need, and it's a wonderful cause. Now remember, these fortified swords, they're going to have another +6 because they're on wooded hills. And if military tradition was picked up as a civic by Agathy, they're also providing support bonuses to each other, increasing that bonus. So it could be quite a while before Agathy falls. He's buying a considerable amount of time. End of the turn hit from there onto the sword, who pretty much shrugs it off as he's fortified and healing every turn. Agathy just needs to let these hits happen and just promote his units as he goes. He needs to fortify the sword in the city center so he can cycle it out as needed, but oh, another really good promotion coming onto that sword. This is going to take a while to break. Battering ram touches the city and takes a huge chunk there off the wall. Another ram coming up behind, so even if he can get rid of that one, there will be another right there. Does use a sword to try and take that out. However, this tile's now opened up. He no longer has the coverage to guard multiple tiles. Taking a look at Brazil, it does settle that city down right there. Another settler moving up. Looks like Brazil is trying to settle in towards El Stretcho here. But I'm not too sure what exactly he's hoping to accomplish. Some districts finally going down, some commercial hubs. But not that many, only the one. Another scientist will be picked up by Japan eventually. He only has one campus down at the moment, with another being constructed. Lots of commercials coming up across the board for Clan OP here. But the heat of the moment is definitely going on right here. Taking a quick look at the resource here, let's see what Brazil is working with behind all this. Sitting on 10 gold a turn and 169, while his partner in Arabia here is sitting on 2 gold with 1 a turn, spending his to get units out as best as he can. Meanwhile, El Stretcho's America here has actually got the Shrouded Turin relic from a goodie hut, is making only 5 gold a turn, only sitting on 73, while Japan here is also at 210 at 20 a turn still, really going strong, having worked on his economy. Sword in the city reaching out to try and make a hit. Same here with this sword as well. The one in the south, however, does get killed off in its entirety, and losing these supportive units to defend with is going to spell doom for Agathy. Agathy holding on. It's turn 46, going to go into 47 here shortly. He's gone a lot farther than most people would have in this situation. And some of the small things that look like, oh, that wasn't that big a deal, but the small things you do with what limited resources you have add up. And in his case, it's added up to many turns of holding on. Meanwhile, Ram is just up building tall off of this. Pretty content on his 5 cities, it looks like. just focusing on grabbing tiles with Crassus to the merchant he secured. Coming into the top of turn 47, let's see what happens. Retreats the horse, Rom's horse comes in there. Looks like they're going to try and give Rom the city if possible. Gets a horse off and moves the sword out. The sword subsequently dies, and he does reach out with the horse as well. Agathi's capital pretty much guaranteed to drop next turn. Yep, guaranteed. So this will spell the end for Agathi here. In the east, his ally has been building quite a few horses to deal with El Stretcho's offensive here. Has another settler still eking out. And he's sitting on 7 cities, soon to be 8. But he hasn't built tall at all. He only has 1 district and it's not completed yet. And because of this, he hasn't really advanced very far in terms of tech. He's still in the same branch of the tree as everyone else. And the same with civics. Coming into the top of 48. And GG to Agathi. And with that, the war against Arabia is done. Rom is given the capital city, and they are now all going to direct their forces east toward Brazil, who has been building up this entire time. We'll have to wait and see what choices Brazil makes. I'm surprised to not see him go for a night timing, considering all the free time he had. And this is going to be the new front line here. The question is can he push? Non-Madol declared. They envoy dumped into non-Madol to make it try to backstab him, and that's going to cause problems as well. And they've also tied up Buenos Aires. Now, Brazil, what will you do? OP's members having 5 and 6 cities respectively against Azazel representing the NWA with 7, soon to be 8. Has quite a few horses out of his own. Builders coming out for our Brazilian player in addition to traders trying to get his economy jump-started. Multiple districts being jumped down at a number of his cities now. However, I'm worried that this might be a little late for his district planning. Looking at his land, I think Open Sky was not the best choice of a pantheon. OP's armies are for now in the west, but they are all of them going to surge east soon. And Azazel is going to have quite the difficulty on his hands, as they can just build tall behind all this, as they already have their standing forces built. They just need to move them over there. Whereas Azazel will now have to build an army while he tries to build up. We're going to have to really see how he tries to handle this situation. Hey Pizza, how's it going, man? Welcome back. Yeah, man, Agathy held on as long as he could, but he was eventually overwhelmed. And with that, Azazel now stands alone against the darkness that is OP. Arabia lost at turn 47. He held on for a very long time, considering what he had to work with. Agathi did very well with his defensive war. Unfortunately, he paid a very steep price for losing that settler. That being said, El Stretcho is sending a trader up to Jerusalem to make the most out of progressing his troops forward here a bit. We will need to see a settler or two come out in order to make some cities up here to try and get roads across this river. That will really speed things along as far as our troop movements go. They are trying to sneak some units around here to try and get a good eye on what's going on here with Brazil. They have really no information on him, and Brazil is using a few horses to deal with Nam-Madol's troops, and they will be seeing that as they have the suzerain of it. Buenos Aires, however, is tied up between the players. Rom envoy sunk in. Unfortunately, even with Agathi leaving the game, having him lost and his civ being destroyed, I cannot view Azazel's stats. The demographs are still broken. Hopefully that'll be fixed in Rise and Fall with the team demographs. Nothing new popping out for Azazel on this turn. We're looking at 52 now. Nothing new popping out, just a trader or two. And a couple builders coming out, districts being worked on in the background by these newly conquered cities. I was very surprised to see Azazel not go for some sort of night timing attack behind this, as it would have been very devastating. He had the iron to do it, and he identified that incredibly early, having got bronze working at almost right away. Azazel sending an additional horse to reinforce the 3 down here. He'll probably just conquer Nam-Madol in its entirety. Because while Rom retains control of it, he has multiple city centers and districts on or near the coast. And because of that, he is getting a lot of culture from it. We'll just have to wait and see what our players try to do here. Buenos Aires is now being suzerained by El Stretcho, so El Stretcho will enjoy a lot of extra amenities there in the form of his bonus resources, which is the suzerain bonus. Now that being said, he's also being given sheep, tobacco, and horses. He already has horses, but the sheep will count as a luxury, and so will the tobacco, which is already a luxury anyway. But Buenos Aires' suzerain bonus is incredibly nice. I would like to see a first move onto this builder. We could see a snatch. And doesn't. Skirts it away instead, looking to scout more information instead. Yerevan being declared on as well by this. There are a lot of swordsmen here, though. For a religious city-state, Yerevan is pretty stacked with military units. OP definitely having the upper hand here in terms of their economy and their situation. Hildegard's still the one up for grabs, but Rom is now up to 7 science points a turn. Brazil only sitting on 1. And no one contending him for the merchants either. If Marco Polo is picked up by Rom, the trade routes for that city will provide +2 gold to both cities in addition to what the normal trade route would give. So OP's economy is going to boom because of this. Traders and builders coming out for our Brazilian player here from the NWA. Nothing new popping out for OP though during this. Azazel sending a horse after the American one, not wanting to try and limit his information. Taking another look at our players' economies here, we're going to take a look at Azazel's first. He is making 15 gold a turn with a 277 bank. It's not bad, but it's definitely not great. America at 8 gold a turn with 133. Rom's Japan, on the other hand, 92 at 26 a turn. El Stretcho definitely paying the price for having so many military units right now in terms of his maintenance costs, but is still making money over time. So it doesn't need to fully rely on his partner just to stay afloat. We're coming into turn 54 now, and nothing new really popping out or coming around. Builders are running around trying to get some improvements done. Districts are starting to be completed now for Brazil, but he's pretty behind the ball in that regard. And this choke point for America, that's El Stretcho's capital, pretty much the gateway to their world at this point, is an incredibly easy point to defend, I have to say, because, again, it's a choke point. You literally have to funnel into this pass. And they're just going to have troops flooding through it as soon as they're done cleaning up Yerevan. And the horses that survive this are going to have multiple promotions as well, which are going to make them terrifying when it's time for cavalry. It looks like Azazel will be conquering Non-Madol in the end after all. He is trying to clean up the remaining forces now. However, all these warriors and the archer from Buenos Aires are going to come after him as well. So he's definitely going to be busy. It really depends on the situation. Yeah, you would need to see battleships, Pizza, in order for them to have any effect on even the ones that are near the coast. How often do people win 2v1s? Not that often, but I have seen it happen a lot in the free-for-all games, where a player just completely outwits his opponents. But in free-for-alls, you have a wide array of skill in the players, because it's literally a bunch of random guys coming together and enjoying a game within the league. Now, in this, all 3 players are very highly skilled. So because of that, it could go either way. I mean, the second free-for-all match that I cast Friday, I saw a player who I had never seen before, really. Hadn't been in the league very long, hadn't won many of his games, but he turned everyone up on their head and ended up winning after an incredibly grueling match. It was literally at the balance of the edge of a knife. So I would be prepared to see anything happen at this point. We could see an upset here. That being said, Nominal is taking hits on its city center from Azazel. In the west, he's just kind of lined up his horsemen defensively, posturing up here. Again, the rest of the military, once it cleans up Yerevan here, it is going to be surging eastward. And they don't have to build a single military unit right now. They have a standing army. They can just build tall. And that's exactly what they're doing. And because of that, they have a significant advantage to that degree. However, Brazil has a ton of space. If he builds tall off of this, like he should be, he should do very well. But he doesn't have a tech lead. He didn't build any districts while this was going on. Agathy bought him a lot of time. And he really didn't do a lot with it other than make a handful of cities. If he had built districts in these cities while he was doing this, he'd have a significant advantage right now. That's the power of Brazil, is their SimCity ability. They get the bonus from the rainforest in addition to all the other adjacencies. And there aren't a ton of rainforests around, but they are scattered and intermittent, which means a lot of these districts, like this is a +5, this campus here is a +3. And, you know, things like that are going to go up and up and up as more of the districts get the adjacencies on each other as well. So, but he should have been doing this sooner rather than now. And he should have been aiming for, in my opinion, a night timing attack, which would have hit around turn 45 to 50 and would have slammed into El Stretcho's capital. And if he had gotten it off at turn 45, Agathy would still be hanging on because the reinforcements El Stretcho was sending would have had to have been focused on defending because of where his scouts had been at the time. He would have seen all these knights coming. So he would have been forced to react to that, and that might have delayed Agathy dying even further. It's those small things that make players change how they play. And the small things like that add up incredibly quickly over these turns. And that's how situations like this happen. Now, warranted, the players are playing with what they can see and know. I can see the whole map, they can't. So bear that in mind too. Oh, definitely. There's nothing easy about what's going to happen here for either side. Even OP is going to have a difficult time here, simply because if Azazel builds tall off of what he has, he's going to have a very strong economy. So they have to do something to disrupt that, and the horse in the background, as you can see in the upper right, is getting cleared off near Curitiba. Taking a look now at Rom's land. Rom focusing purely on his economy here, really making excellent use of the extra adjacency bonuses Japan gets for their districts. A lot of excellent things happening here. Yerevan did get walls, but Rams were already ready, so those fall almost immediately. As soon as Yerevan's cleaned up, these armies are going to come over here and start messing with Azazel. But he has a lot of horses now. He's a force to be reckoned with in his own right. However, he currently has nowhere near the science required to really be going for Cav. He needs to be getting ready to do something with knights here. And it's going to be a couple turns before non-Madol falls. Rom's horses are heading east. El Stretcho has a settler now heading east as well. So we're going to see just exactly that. Another city set up for a road to be established to cross the river quicker. Unable to put the city under siege due to the sea tiles. Yeah, nuke slate could change everything, but I'm really not too sure we'll see nukes because the player's science isn't exactly very stellar. Rom is generating at least 50 a turn right now, at the very least. I'm not too sure about Azazel, though. Like, most of his campuses aren't complete, and that's the real killer here. However, they are lining up their horses, showing Azazel that they're not scared. They're coming for him. Honestly, Azazel should be keeping his horses over here and should be killing these off as they arrive. Because they're sending them in a couple at a time. He should just kill them off. Don't let them build up their forces in bulk. He's already ready in bulk. He should be killing that archer off, getting the scout killed, killing off all these horses as they show up. Make them pay for that mistake. And again, it's easier for me to say because I can see everything. But he's seen these arrive a couple at a time. He's on the hill. He can see out here. He knows nothing's there yet. So he should be picking all this stuff off. He could definitely swing around and flank it. I don't see why he's not doing it. More builders coming out for El Stretcho here, and Rom here. You see a builder came out of Agathi's former capital. As well, tons of builders back home as well. Looking to get tons of good improvements out, getting all these tiles worked on, some chops. I'd like to see some more settlers out for Rom as well. Some really good settles along the coast here he could take, especially having the suzerain and non-Madol while he does, making the most of that free culture he's enjoying. Buenos Aires, on the other hand, still belongs to El Stretcho and has tons of military units out. Even if they are just warriors, with enough of them, they become a problem. However, these mountains here are providing quite the safety net for Azazel. But they will eventually end up finding his units and seeing his borders and going for it. Yerevan will be falling next turn. There are still plenty of good settles here on this little, I guess you could call it an island, but it's not an island. It is technically connected here. Poor old Yerevan's down, and with that belonging to Estrecho, his armies are free to move east. Wow, Nombadil's galleys really come a long way. That being said, reinforcements have arrived to the front line for OP, and Azazel has kind of lost his attack of opportunity here. When it was just these 3 units, and these were all further back, he should have picked them off. And it comes back again. I can see everything, so it's easier for me to make that call. But he knew from being on the hill that there was nothing, that they had something here, and that was it. There was a gap there, and he could have taken advantage. That being said, he is working on district, getting some walls up in some cities as well, I've seen. I'm wondering if it's mostly just for void quests in places. We're going to take a quick look at that, actually. He's leveling non-Madol, so that'll unfortunately cost the envoys that have been sunk there by OP's team. More and more forces showing up for OP. Settlers moving forward as well. It looks like this is going to be a city that's just dropped for an upgrade purpose later on. That being the case, take a look at the tech tree here. Azazel and Rom have been chugging along here. They're somewhere around the night technology. Somewhere on this line of tree here based on the positions of their markers here. El Stretcho here is either at apprenticeship machinery. I highly doubt he went for military tactics. Not many people bother with the pikeman unit or the Huey Takali. That being the case, we're likely to see, we're not going to see any knights simply because no heavy chariots have been pre-built. So this is likely to go straight to calves. And it looks like that will be Brazil's intent as well. He does take non-Madol this turn, which is unfortunately going to cost OP their 4 envoys they sunk in. However, holy crap, Zazel tried to dump into Buenos Aires to turn it, and El Stretcho just dumped right with him. It is now sitting at 7 and 6 envoys respectively, and Buenos Aires still belongs to El Stretcho, giving him those free luxuries in the form of the bonus resources. That's because if you look at the pikemen, strength of 41, it gets plus 10 against cavalry units, so 51 strength, right, against cav. If you look at the cavalry, it has a strength of 62, so it's still 11 higher than a pikeman. Pikemen also move much slower. That being the case, they can't maneuver enough to really engage with cavalry effectively, even with the combat strength bonus they receive against cav class units. Another reason the cav meta is so strong is because you upgrade straight from horses to cavalry. There's no in between, which is a bit of a problem with the system in my opinion, but everyone has their own opinions on that. Now that being said, in Rise and Fall, anti-cavalry units, the spearmen, the pikemen, and that, they are getting a much better they're getting better bonuses in other ways against cav units. We don't have all the details, but what we do know is that Oligarchy will now apply to all the anti-cavalry class units, because Oligarchy didn't help them before, now it will. So that'll be an extra +4 combat strength that they're going to get during Oligarchy, as well as a card, a policy card that specifically increases production towards anti-cavalry class units. Just like a Gauge is melee and ranged, a card will apply to the spearmen as well now. And yes, the pike and shot are completely destructive against cavalry. They're amazing. I don't have my hands on like a copy of a closed beta or anything like that. I don't have anything nice like that. But from what I have seen, from what the screenshots and what we've ripped apart through the various subreddits and everything like that, the pike and shot will obliterate cavalry. It's going to be beautiful. And what's worse is it's on the tech along the way to field cannons. You're going to get them alongside your bombard tech. So because of where it is located in the tree, you're going to get pike and shots, muskets, and field cannons against cav. And you're going to destroy them. Charleston goes down on the rice, just slaps that city right down in his face. We'll see. I mean, there are a lot of changes coming in the game with the expansion. Actually, a lot more changes on this coming expansion than we've seen in pretty much any other expansion when it comes to Civ, at least within the recent 5 years or so. I know Civ 5 didn't see an expansion that changed it this much. So I'm very excited to see all the changes. I know a lot of them aren't going to be listed. I still want to see the patch notes though. And I'm hoping the patch notes will have more than just what they've announced in the weekly videos and the live stream sessions. That being the case, we're going to take a quick look at the Civic tree here. Brazil is lagging behind a little bit here, as they are already at mercenaries as far as OP goes. However, with the loss of non-Madol, Rom's going to lose a lot of that culture that he had, because he was getting a ton of it for free. All these districts and the city centers were giving +2 culture because they were honored near the coast. Well, that's no longer the case. And just as I said, all these horses, now that they've healed up and being fortified and all these units have recovered, they're all moving east, and they're all heavily promoted from the various combats they participated in. Yeah. Take a look at the great people now. Abu is picked up by none other than Ram here, and looking at the next one is De Châtelet. And Ram's sitting at 15 points a turn, Brazil at only 4.1, I'll stretch you at 2. Merchant-wise, 5 a turn with 0 coming from Brazil. So their economy in OP is booming from the control of these merchants for sure. Definitely looking forward to see how this match progresses. Jerusalem's going to be taken out by El Stretcho. They're just going to be cleaning house, which is going to leave Buenos Aires as the only remaining city-state on the map. Archer's taking shots on some units across the water. I'm going to top of turn 65. Nothing new going on this battlefront. However, Jerusalem is getting hit hard and it falls to El Stretcho. For those of you who are just joining us, welcome to the stream, whether you're watching us over on Twitch or on YouTube live. And welcome to the 2v2 of NWA versus OP. Playing for the NWA, our only surviving player, as his partner died earlier, is Azazel PD. His partner was Agathy and was Arabia. He is against Japan, played by Rom for OP. Playing as America is El Stretcho. Plenty of districts coming up for OP's members here. Both El Stretcho and Rom down here. Oh, Rom working on the Coliseum. Going to enjoy some nice culture from that boost. Multiple holy city sites have been taken, so we're going to see some religions come out now. Candy having been taken before it built its holy site. However, with both Yerevan and Jerusalem being taken. Having a shrine as well. I wonder what religious choices we'll see. Azazel does re-secure Buenos Aires with a suzerain, so he will enjoy some free luxuries there as part of its suzerain, as well as some stress relief knowing those units aren't going to come pillage his lands. Definitely going to have to wait and see how that pans out, though. As the only remaining city-state, it is the only place for those envoys to be dumped now from all 3 players. Which means any industrial zones built by these players are going to enjoy an additional +4 production whenever they're producing wonders, buildings, or other districts. More settlers coming out for El Stretcho here. He's trying to continue to expand here. Loaded into the top, turn 68 now. Rom's moving his horses around away to looks like to cover this settler here. To make sure he doesn't surge out with a couple horses to take it, it looks like. El Stretcho's horse is just moving forward to make a strong offensive line here. That's going to be a 2 deep instead of a 1-line column. Oh! Scout gets promoted and is now hidden from view. This is a 4 promoted scout, and because of this we cannot see it. We'll only see it during its attack animations from now on for the remainder of the game. And this is incredibly potent because unless this scout is right next to an enemy unit, they won't know it's there either. El Stretcho has a significant advantage of the scout promoted to this way. He can sneak it around. As long as he doesn't go by a unit that Azazel will notice, he'll be able to sneak right by and go on a pillaging spree and run away. This could be absolutely devastating. That scout's not dead. It's invisible now. It's just like a privateer. Looks like they're going to great lengths to protect this settler here. Abu is brought up to the front line, and remember, any units within a tile or linked to Abu will get healed by 20 a turn. This is an incredibly potent scientist to bring to war instead of using. Chatelet is passed on, so it will fall to our Brazilian player as to whether or not it will be taken. Looks like the concern is Newton will be next, and they definitely cannot let that fall into Brazil's hands. Taking a look back at home, here we got more horses coming out for Rom to come aid the battle. Hildegard's untouched, really. He has no holy site to use her with. Traders coming out to establish more routes here. Definitely needs to get roads built to both Jerusalem and Charleston, sending a trader back from there now. Probably saving the other trader for this city when it gets settled. Lots of horses coming out to the front line here for our Brazilian player Azazel. As his districts begin to finish up, his science is going to continue to rise. Another settler for Estrecho coming out to the front line. So they're going to be dropping more and more cities out here to try and deny access to this land. However, Brazil really doesn't need it. He can just build tall off of what he has and do extremely well. As long as Rom doesn't secure Newton, he should be okay. Demographics are broken in a team game, unfortunately, Blurg, so I can't view them. Coliseum is finished up by Rom on turn 70. It's pretty late for a Coliseum, actually. Most being built around turn 50. Yeah, all the demographics for a team game are broken. As you can see, it says 0 across the board for everybody. It's something that's been wrong with the game for a very long time, and we're hoping to see it fixed with Rise and Fall. A couple of chariots I see moving around from El Stretcho here too. Looks like he might be saving up for some knights. That being said, both Rom and our Brazilian player are right around siege tactics, so we could see military science for Cav come very shortly. That being said, however, and they're even locked up with civics now, probably swinging back around to get ready to go to Enlightenment and going for Merchant Republic as well. We're going to have to take a look at the gold to see if they can even afford to promote these units. 471 at 20 a turn for a Brazilian player. Rom's Japan, on the other hand. Come on. There we go. 599 with 95 a turn. So Rom will definitely have the superior force in terms of cavalry when this hits. Yeah, it's exactly what it is, the race to military science, and you can upgrade in your allies' territory, so that's why these settlers are coming out here and dropping cities on the front line, so that they can upgrade and go immediately. And Archer's taking more shots at that scout that we can't see. Oh yeah, a lot of horses will die if Cav get upgraded on one side first. However, Brazil's economy is significantly weaker in terms of its gold generation. So hopefully we'll see that turn around, but very key merchants for team-based gameplay have been picked up by Rom. The important one here is Marco Polo and Raja Todermal. Now Marco Polo, other than, you know, giving you a trader and increasing your trade capacity, the important part is foreign trade routes to the city you use them in provide +2 gold to both cities. So every trade route that they send to the city that he used the merchant in is giving both El Stretcho and Rom an additional 2 gold a turn. On top of that, as we see more units move up alongside a builder, he also got Raja Todermal. Your trade routes to your own cities gain a half gold for each specialty district at the destination. So all of Rom's trade routes are going to be domestic, but in between his own cities. Namely, they'll just be between his own cities. Probably the one with the most districts set up with the highest population to get the most out of that benefit. All of El Stretcho's trade routes are going to be to the city he used Marco Polo in. And that will be giving them all of the gold that you see them having. Look at this. 8, 8, 7, 8, 7. It's beautiful. 5 pop and the other cap. More and more horses showing up to the fight. A couple of chariots here too. Continental divide, huh? I like to look at it more like the DMZ between North and South Korea. Just a giant staring contest. Probably less horses in Korea. Probably. Everyone's starting to hit Merchant Republic now. Yeah, I hope he gets some thirst too. We'll have to wait and see though. It looks like they're not wanting to wait. El Stretcho's looks like he's gonna try and sack his horses so that Rom can be the one to go for Cav. However, he's got some. The lineup's pretty good here. You joke about kangaroos, they're nasty creatures. Hold your head under the water till you drown. No, I didn't. Hold on. Zen Meditation Stewardship picked up. Picked up Bile Stretcher here.
You do not.
And there come the cavalry. Rom got it first. It's the power of his science lead early on. And Azazel's calling GG on that. He knows he can't hold against the cavalry. Waiting for confirmation. Alright, and OP wins the 2v2 against NWA. Big thanks for coming by, everybody. I appreciate your viewership and support, and thanks for coming by the stream to support these players. They appreciate it just as much as I do. Look forward to seeing you guys throughout the rest of the day for the rest of the events that are ongoing. Have a good day. There'll be a break in the stream for this match to be uploaded to YouTube. You all have a good day.